Hey everybody, and welcome to a very hot West Texas summer day of JP Build Unit 93. And it is really, really hot. First off, I've got new shirts. Of course, I'm not going to be selling these, but these are going to be for me and later on. And so I would definitely want to say thank you to my friend Jamie for getting these done. Have our JP Unit 93 logo, and I would really appreciate that. But we have a lot to talk about this episode, mainly some of the updates that we've done, but it's time to start talking about some more serious things because I have the title in hand. So I don't have to worry about anything coming up and I have to give back the vehicle or anything like that. So now I'm willing to actually spend a little bit more time and money on some of the essential things that are going to be done to this Jeep. And the first today will be working on whatever that clunk noise is. I removed the front drive shaft and it sounded a little bit better, and I really think it has something to do with the transfer case and the U-joints. And so I'm going to be tapping out on that one and taking it to an automotive place here to have them look at it. They're familiar with Jeeps, and it actually worked on one of the other Jeeps that's a Jurassic Park build in Lubbock. That's a TJ. So I feel a little bit more confident that they can help me out on this thing. Plus, I'm not afraid of leaving it there for a couple weeks while they work on it. At the end of the day, this is a project vehicle, so fortunately it's not my main mode of transportation, because if it was, I would be in a lot of trouble because I do not like driving it right now. That being said, the air conditioner is actually really good. But let's dive into some of the mechanical things that we're working on with this and some of the updates that we've done as far as aesthetics. And one of the items as far as the functionality of the Jeep is the temperature gauge that you see on the middle. It wasn't working correctly, but I was able to diagnose it using some of the information that I found on the internet and YouTube. There's just so much information on these Jeeps, and was able to connect a ground wire to the actual sensor, and it eventually indicated that it wasn't shorted out and that it was actually just the sensor. So I've got that on order from Quadratech. One of the largest details for the interior is that we actually have some carpet in here now. And you can see in the front, I had to actually order an aftermarket that is in gray. I'm not terribly happy about it. I'm going to eventually have to hunt down the front part of the carpet, but for now, it's going to keep the passengers' legs from catching on fire from the unshielded exhaust that we obviously have, and it's going to be just a lot nicer in here in general. But in the back, we do actually have our green carpet that you can see under there. We have it on the sides. This was located on one of the forums with the Jurassic Park build, and so I had it shipped here from a guy in Alabama. And so I really appreciate him. He did actually cleaned it up for me, and which he obviously didn't have to do, but it really kind of makes it look good back here. Obviously, we still have the extra gray carpet, but as you can see, the green is in. And we have the seat belts. I had to get all 4 of them redone. It's a lot better and a lot safer, which was kind of a big deal. So we always want that. One of the other things as far as the carpet and picking gray is that it is so close. So if you can see here, we've got green on the right and then the gray on the left. At the end of the day, I still want this to be green, but for now, this is going to work. As far as the door panels are concerned, I'm also going to make an executive decision here, and I'm going to just have to completely repaint these. Truthfully, I should have done that from the beginning, but I wanted to see what some of the experiments would do as far as using the mineral oil and the heat gun. I'm not pleased with either one of those, and I think it's going to just be a lot easier and a lot better if I can take these door panels off and paint them back. There is a write-up on how to do that on some of the forums, and so that's something that I can definitely take on myself and feel pretty comfortable with. I have done it before on my TJ. I completely painted that interior from tan to black, and it is not a hard process. So I think this is going to be something I'll be working on while the Jeep is at the shop. And probably my favorite thing that I've done is the rear amber fog lights. So these are obviously not going to be screen original because they are very expensive. If they are original, we're talking about anywhere from $250 to $400 a pair. So Again, for a Jeep that at the time I didn't have the title, I didn't really want to spin that, but I did manage to find these. They are approximately a half-inch shorter than what was actually used on the screen. But again, at the end of the day, most people aren't going to be able to tell, but I want it to be amber fog lights. Initially, whenever I bought these, I had a yellow tint on them, and I couldn't stand it. And again, that was my fault. I ordered the wrong tint. And so after that, I ordered this amber color and actually put it over the yellow tint just to kind of make it a little bit more subtle. And I think that turned out extremely well. Again, these aren't the actual ones that were used in the back. I do have that on the list because I do want to have authentic rear amber fog lights on these, but for the time being, these are going to do great. And we have our front bumper with winch plate and bumper end caps installed. The Ramsey 6000 winch that was actually used on the Jurassic Park Jeeps is basically extinct, and if you find them, they're extremely high dollar. We're talking like $600-700 a piece. So unless I can find one a lot cheaper, I'm probably going to go with something that just looks similar and go that way. Just because at the end of the day, I'm probably not going to be off-roading this thing like I used to in my other Jeeps, and it's going to be more of a showpiece. So the chance of using that winch is pretty much going to be zero. That being said, I do want it to look screen accurate, and one of the things with the Jurassic Park Jeeps was that iconic winch whenever Dennis Nedry was trying to get unstuck and he got attacked by the dinosaur. And with that, wish me luck. We're going to be taking this now. I'm going to have my wife Christy follow me so that we have a ride home. Obviously, we're going to make it there. I do trust this, obviously, to drive it enough, but it's making enough of a sound that I don't want it to be a problem later on. So we're nipping things in the bud and controlling the bleeding right now, but I'm going to take this and we're going to say bye to the Jeep for just a little bit, and we'll probably change things up while it's being worked on and show you some of the other things that I've got coming up as far as the aesthetics, some of the estimates, some of what I'm going to do with the paint, and basically the next part of the walkthrough on this. So stay tuned and fingers crossed that everything's going to be good.